Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Shem Abishai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners. And to the Aquath that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson of truth. And this lesson was supposed to be done outdoors today, but I ended up doing it here in the locker room when no one's around. So we're gonna start with the Apocrypha as the backdrop. Probably the most, well, all of the Bible is important, but the Apocrypha is probably the most crucial to the revealing of the veil, to the wicked being uncovered. Hence the reason why they chose to remove it from the Bible. And I have a screenshot from that I got from Yakia. I'm not sure where he got it from off social media, and it's a screenshot of the television show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And of course, it was a Jake from the Southern Kingdom that this question was asked. And the question reads, it says, derived from the Greek word meaning to hide away, which of these refers to the books which were purposely excluded from the accepted canon of the Bible? And then it has A, Apocrypha, C, Pentateuch, B, Epistles, D, Catecheses. I'm not sure if I pronounced that wrong. Well, of course, the proper answer would be A, and of course Jake didn't know, but he got it right, because they have the lifeline and the audience, and of course, the audience told him, which was, I'm sure, was full of Edomites, because Jake doesn't know anything about the Apocrypha, and the Apocrypha chronicles the Greek activity when Jake became Gentiles, hence the Gentiles in the Roman captivity. When you get to the portions where it says there's no difference between Greek nor Jew, all right? And then I just learned from a book that I'm reading that was written by an Edomite scholar in the 1800s, how Helen, and the book is about, this is basically a white man writing about how the Jew and the Negro are the same people, all right? In the 1800s, of course he hides and doesn't speak about who Esau Edom is. He's pushing that the so-called white man is Japhetic, which is completely a fabrication. That's a lie. But nevertheless, he said that Helen meant white. So I'm like, well, that's perfect. That they were Hellenized during the Greek captivity, which is chronicled in the Apocrypha. So those of you who may be new, then you come to the understanding why it's so easy to try to generalize or try to include all the other nations in where it says Greek nor Jew, because it didn't say anyone else. It was just Greek nor Jew. Although now we know the reason why, because the Southern Kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, had been under the Grecian captivity and had been Hellenized for 400 years, and like it says in the Apocrypha. All right, but that isn't the lesson today. This is the final portion of the elect are captives of Bozrah. All right, so this is part 3, and we expose a lot of information on part 1 and 2. Now, part 3, we're just gonna go just right into these scriptures, jump right into them, and we're gonna start in Romans. All right, because it told you in the number one information that we exposed was the fact that the scholars that put together the Zondervan's Bible Dictionary, the Zondervan Bible Group, their scholars, they clearly wrote in their Bible, in their dictionary Bible, that under salvation, elect, predestinated to foreknow that it's a select people. So, it clearly tells you that salvation being universal is foreign to the scriptures. It is foreign to the scriptures. That's something that Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, made up. But this is Romans, the 9th chapter, and verse 8. And it reads, that they which are children of the flesh, these are not the children of God, but the children of the promise are counted as for the seed. All right. So the Lord created all people. All right. And then it came down to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Well, Isaac had two sons, and one of his sons got the blessing, which was Jacob, who was the forefather of the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American. All right. And the scattered that are scattered among the heathen. And then Esau, Edom is the so-called self-proclaimed white man. That's their race. Jacob and Esau are brothers. This whole black and white thing, if you will, this false social construct which Esau, Edom has pushed. All right. So just because they are of Abraham, there's not the seed, because Ishmael, the so-called Arabs, Ammon, the so-called Japanese, Moab, the so-called Chinese, and other, and you got to think about those the sons of Keturah. All right, so those are also Abraham's seed, but they're not counted the promise. And if the promise was passed to Isaac, then passed to his son Jacob, who then passed it to his 12 sons. All right, and there it is. Okay. So in the same chapter, Romans 9:21. And it reads, have not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? So the same lump, the same sperm, all right, the same piece of clay. You take one piece of clay, you pull it apart, and you form two beautiful vases, all right, or two beautiful cups. Then one cup you set up on the counter to keep, and the other one you push off and watch it smash the pieces on the floor. That's them who were fitted for destruction. And that was Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man. All right. Now let's go to Romans 8 and 33. And it reads, who shall lay anything to the charge of God's elect? It is God that justifieth. So like in Ezekiel 9:4, the elect, the chosen, are exempt from their sins. Even the rest of Israel doesn't get that benefit. The 2/3 of Israel are gonna die the death of the heathen on this side, and then they receive the promises on the other side. All right, that's what the Lord. That's what He set it up to be. All right, this is let's grab another quick scripture, Isaiah. Is it 40? I think it's 48-10. Let me see. So lock you one moment. Yes, this is Isaiah 49:8, and it reads, thus saith Yahweh, in an acceptable time have I heard thee, and in the day of salvation have I helped thee, and I will preserve thee and give thee for a covenant of people to establish the earth, to cause to inherit the desolate heritage. So the desolate heritage is the heritage that was destroyed of the Israelites. All right, but only one people, and who were the people of the covenant? The Israelites, man. That's not everybody, but you got these Christians, Vocab Malone, Dr. James White, the Edomite, John Hagin, all these TV Jakes, TV Snakes, all these false teachers of Christianism, pushing the lie of the universal salvation, which is the scholars. All right, the scholars disagree. The scholars have said that universal salvation is foreign in the scriptures, and it is. All right. Though that thou mayest say to the prisoners, go forth, and see who are prisoners. We're prisoners here in Babylon. We have birth certificates, we have social security numbers, and we're prisoners because we can't do anything without those things, and then they have control over those things. And they only and if so if they choose, they decide if you can and cannot travel, if you can and cannot get loans, if you can't, we're under captivity, and we're forced to pay taxes. All right, Even when you so-called buy something, you still pay taxes on it. All right. It says that they may say to the prisoners, go forth. To them that are in darkness, show yourselves. And see, that's Esau, Edom. They're being, and flip side of that, the scriptures are manyfold. It's also us, because there was a veil put over all people. All right. They shall feed in the ways that their pastures shall be in all high places. They shall not hunger nor thirst, neither shall the heat nor sun smite them. For they have mercy on them, and shall lead them, even by the springs of water shall he guide them. So that's clearly talking about the Israelites, man. All right, and we're coming out of darkness. Okay, and the darkness which Esau is in, the darkness he created, a light has been shined on it. And see, they're like insects, man. You saw that plague over there, in that ongoing plague in Australia. When the light turns on, all those mice were scattering everywhere like roaches. All right. Let's go to Isaiah 61. And it says, the Spirit, this is 61 verses 1 through 3. The Spirit of Yahweh power is upon me, because Yahweh have anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He hath sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of Yahweh, and the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourn, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion. It didn't say that the whole world is mourning, but they don't have comfort coming. What comfort they have coming is the downfall of Esau, Edom, the destruction of Babylon. All right, the birth pains of going into slavery for 1,000 years, and then earning their freedom and complete freedom in way of life. Of course, they have to follow the law, statutes, and commandments, and be judged over by the elect. To appoint to them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called trees of righteousness and planting of Yahweh, that they might be glorified. All right, and the tree is a powerful thing, and I just been speaking about that on video, like these last couple of weeks, all the death is upon the trees. I'm looking out of a window now, and I can see a tree with branches that have no life on it. That's all across America. All right, the self-proclaimed white man is the harbinger of death. That's what they are. All right, this is Zechariah 9 and 12, and it reads, "Turn you to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. Even to the day do I declare that I will render double unto thee." So we're prisoners of Bozrah still, man. All right, let's jump to the New Testament. The Edomites got the whole world on lockdown. The beautiful thing about it is that they're losing their grip, their power. Their light is being shined on them. They're being hated. The Spirit of Yahweh is upon me, Luke 4 and 18. The Spirit of Yahweh is upon me, because he have anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, and recover the sight of the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised. Do they not kill us and mistreat us, and then lie about history, and then brag about their accomplishments, take credit for our inventions, for our labors? Claim lands and heritages that are not theirs. Okay, this is what they're guilty of, these things. Let's go to Hebrews. The 6th chapter and verses 17 through 20 to the end. This reads, "Wherein God willingly more abundantly, to show unto the heirs of promise the immutability of his counsel, confirmed it by an oath, that by the immutable things in which it was impossible for power to lie, we might have a strong consolation, who have fled for refuge to lay hold upon hope set before us. We run to these Bibles, to these scriptures, because that's our comfort and our hope. All right? We don't have anything outside of that. We don't. If you think you got something, you don't. You think your house, your car, even your woman. You know, a lot of you going to find out, I keep telling you, that the woman you're with is not really with you. You wait until the pressure really comes. Like I said, the Lord has got, your wives are going to come when Isaiah 4:1 comes into place. And a lot of the wives are going to be a lot of the women that are watching and learning. The ones that don't have husbands already. A lot of them are going to be the wives of the brothers. And it reads that by two immutable things in which it is impossible for God to lie, we may have a strong consolation who have fled for the refuge to lay hold upon hope set before us, which hope we have as an anchor of the soul, both sure and steadfast, which entereth within the veil, whether the forerunner is for us, entered even Yahushua, made a high priest forever after order of Melchizedek. All right, so we have a king and a prince. The son of Yahweh to rule over us forever. All right, and he's going to place the law, statutes, and commandments into our inward parts that we never fall again. All right. So with that, I hope this was edifying and uplifting. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash, Wa Abba Babal, Kwam Yasharallah.